Hey everybody, it's me, Jason the Cartoon Fan. There isn't really a special introduction that I want to give in this video. And the reason why is simply because I don't really have anything exciting to talk about here. I got a bunch of different DVDs last weekend, and in this video I'm going to show you all of them. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's take a look at all of them. So first off, we have a Blu-ray release of Ralph Breaks the Internet, aka Wreck-It Ralph 2. I saw this in the theater with my mom, and I thought it was pretty good, although I didn't like it as much as the first Wreck-It Ralph. But that's usually the case when it comes to Disney sequels. The sequels usually aren't as good as the original movie, unless it's Pixar we're talking about. So I liked the movie enough to want to own it on physical media, and I got this release at Dollar General for $10. Yes, you heard me, Dollar General. It's part of this program called Movies You Buy, where they take a bunch of DVDs and Blu-rays and they sell them for pretty low prices, lower than you would pay them for if you were to buy these releases at like a big box store like Wal-Mart or Target. So this was a used copy that they rewrapped, so it only has the Blu-ray and the DVD, no digital copy code. I don't really use the digital copy code anymore because of the fact that I have Disney Plus now, so I honestly don't mind that at all. But for those of you who like digital copy codes, buying these Blu-ray releases as part of this Movies You Buy program may not be the most ideal option. But anyway, now that introduction for this release is out of the way, let's actually take a look at the package. So here's the front, spine, and the back. Here, let me move it. You can pause here if you want to read all the information that's listed here. And unfortunately, this sticker here seems to be put under the shrink wrap rather than placed on top of it like this sticker is. That's unfortunate, but I guess I'll just have to peel this off later. Alright, so let's open this up and see what's inside. Okay, now that the shrink wrap is off the case, let's open up the case. Let me guess, what we're going to get in here is a plain blue Blu-ray and a plain white DVD. And yeah, I'm pretty much correct about that. So here's the Blu-ray, and here's the DVD. You can see that this little sticker has been put on both discs. So this could either mean one of two things. One, these were originally rentals from like maybe Redbox or something, and then they sent them back over and the Movies You Buy program decided to get them and put them together back in the original case. Which, you know, I'll have to look it up later if the Movies You Buy program is connected to Redbox in any way. Or maybe it's just a brand recognition type of thing. They just put the labels on here just because. Because there are some Movies You Buy titles that I've seen where there's no case. They just put it inside a cardboard container. And I have one of those Movies You Buy program disc that come in that type of package, actually. The Simpsons Christmas 2, which I've shown in a couple of previous videos before. Continuing on with the stuff that I got from Dollar General, here is 4 Kid Favorites Saturday Morning Cartoons 1970s Volume 1. Of course, the 1970s is not the best decade of American animation, but it still had its highlights. So, there's a lot of cartoons that are on this collection, and I'm definitely happy to have this in here for the novelty's sake, if nothing else. Because there is a good amount of cartoons that are on here that have not been released on DVD since. This was actually a new copy, even though it was part of the same Movies You Buy program, and I got it for $5. However, I already took the shrink wrap off the case because I wanted to watch the content that's on these 2 discs as soon as possible. So, the picture quality is alright for these older cartoons, but some of them look better than others, and Warner Brothers, the company that released the DVD, made that clear in the introduction. They said that some of the old film prints, like the original film prints of some of these shows, were lost, so they had to find different prints that were of a lesser quality. So they warned people that the video quality would vary from show to show. But overall, it looks alright for cartoons that came from a few decades ago. So yeah, here's the front, spine, and the back. You can pause here if you want to read all this information. There's some special features, which is always nice. And in case you were wondering what's included on this DVD collection, there is an episode each of Hong Kong Phooey, Yogi's Gang, which is a spin-off of Yogi Bear that features all the Hanna-Barbera funny animal characters together, the Batman Tarzan Hour produced by Filmation, the Jetsons, even though that show is from the 60s, Goober and the Ghost Chasers, Speed Buggy, Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch, The Amazing Chan and the Chan Clan, The Funky Phantom, the new Scooby-Doo movies, and a couple of other ones too. So, in other words, half of the cartoons that are included on this set are Scooby-Doo and its various knockoffs. All of which would cause the company producing them to get sued because they were so blatantly similar to Scooby-Doo. You know, if Hanna-Barbera wasn't the one responsible for producing every single one of the Scooby-Doo knockoffs. I don't know, I just find that to be a bit amusing, if you ask me. So, yeah. So, let's take a look at what we got inside. It's in an EcoBox case, unfortunately, but not surprisingly. But, one thing that I am happy about is that the 2 discs actually have full-color artwork. So, here is Disc 1, featuring all of the members of the Jetson family, and Disc 2, which features Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. So all the cartoons that are in this collection were produced by Hanna-Barbera, except for the Batman Tarzan Hour, which, like I mentioned earlier, was produced by Filmation, and Warner Brothers only got the rights to it because of the fact that they own DC Comics. And Batman is, of course, from DC Comics. Despite being mentioned on the copyright information on the back, Looney Tunes is not represented on this DVD collection at all. So none of the various Looney Tunes anthology programs that aired in the 1970s, like the Bugs Bunny Show, the Roadrunner Show, the Daffy Duck Speedy Gonzales Hour, the Porky Pig Show, the Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner Show, and the Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck Show are included on this collection. Additionally, a screenshot from the Flintstones appears on one of the menus on this set, but that show isn't included here either, nor are any of its spin-offs. I mean, you could just say false advertising, but to be fair, it is just a screenshot on the menu and copyright information, so it's not like they're specifically stating that this stuff is on here, but it still feels a little bit wrong to me. Next off, We have a DVD that I know that some people are going to be really excited that I have, and some people are going to be like, oh, you have this show on DVD now? Totally Spies Season 2, Volume 2, Fame and Fashion. Totally Spies is a show that's gotten quite the mixed reception over the years. It was originally very positive, but then in more recent years, people began joking about it being a fetish show. And I do agree that some of the moments from this show do appear to be very weird when you're taking them out of context. But I think, in my opinion, I think it's a pretty good show. It definitely does try a lot harder than most cartoons that are geared more towards girls are. Like, they're not pandering to the base like so many other girl-oriented cartoons do. So, I didn't watch this when it was originally on Cartoon Network. I came across it back when it was on Netflix, and I thought it was pretty enjoyable for what it was. And it's definitely an example of a cartoon that originally aired in Canada on Teletoon, done right. One of the big problems that people have with Teletoon shows is that they tend to be very cheaply produced, even the good shows. And the reason why is because Canada has this policy where at least 50% of the shows that air on the Canadian-owned television networks have to be produced in Canada. So the people who are in charge of the Canadian government don't have to pay extra money for import shows. So Teletoon rushes things out the door just so they can meet those guidelines. But thankfully, Totally Spies is an example of a Teletoon show that does not do this. While it is technically limited animation, it's an anime-style show, so it makes sense. The character designs are really cool, and and the animation itself is pretty good, and the action sequences are well done as well. Yeah, I'm doing this unscripted this time around, just because I wanted to show you guys these releases as soon as possible. So I apologize for the stuttering and all that. So, yeah. I've been collecting the show on DVD, and I actually have another DVD of this show, Season 3, Volume 1, Ring Super Spies, that I also got at Dollar General. This DVD was only $2, which I'm really surprised about. You can see that the top of the case is a little bit dented, but I got this for so cheap that I honestly don't care. So here's the front, spine, and the back. And here is the inside. So here is disc 1 and disc 2. One thing that I am happy about with all of Totally Spies' DVD releases is that they actually say what episodes are included on each disc on the disc themselves, which is really cool, and I really wish that more DVD releases of TV shows would do that. Finally, for the DVDs that I got at Dollar General, we have Bah Humduck, a Looney Tunes Christmas Carol. This is not the first time that the Looney Tunes have done a parody of A Christmas Carol, as there was a TV special of it back in the 1970s, and it wasn't even the last time that they parodied A Christmas Carol, because an episode of the Looney Tunes show from 2011, which was actually titled A Christmas Carol, aired in 2013. But in my personal opinion, this is the Looney Tunes franchise's best Christmas Carol parody. I had some really good childhood memories watching this. It's a direct-to-video movie, but it's only 45 minutes long, so I think of it as more of a TV special than anything else. Every year on Cartoon Network, from 2006 up until 2013, I used to have an older copy of this DVD, but I got rid of it for some weird reason. I honestly don't know why, though. But now I have a new copy of it. This is a pretty nice release. There's a couple of special features like deleted scenes in a music video, which is always nice, as well as the set-top DVD games that you used to find on a lot of DVDs for children's movies and TV shows back in the day. But there is one problem with this DVD that I have. At the bottom of the case, you can see that it says Standard Version, presented in a format preserving the aspect ratio of its original television exhibition. And yes, that is correct. That is how this special originally aired on TV. But it is not the aspect ratio that the movie was produced in. Like all of Warner Brothers' animated content that was produced for television from 2001 to 2009, this movie was actually made in widescreen, so the DVD presents it in pan and scan. Hopefully we'll get a Blu-ray release of this movie next Christmas. No, not next Christmas like Christmas 2020. I mean like Christmas 2021, because 2021 is this special's 15th anniversary. So a Blu-ray release in the movie's correct aspect ratio would be awesome. But until then, this is an alright way to experience the movie for the special features if nothing else. But if you're interested in checking out this movie for the first time, just rent it from iTunes. Because on iTunes, the movie, or the special, whatever you want to call it, is in widescreen. Alright, so here's the front, spine, and the back. You can pause here if you want to read all this information here. One thing that's interesting about this special is that it was written by Ray De Laurentiis. I don't know how that last name is pronounced. But anyway, he's one of the guys who worked on the Fairly Odd Parents, and he wrote some of the show's best episodes. I wouldn't say that he wrote as many good episodes as someone like Bob Boyle or Steve Marmel, but he's definitely one of the people who made those classic Fairly Odd Parents seasons so good. Anyway, here's the inside. Once again, we have an EcoBox case, but again, it's not surprising. Here's the disc. Has full color artwork, which is nice. Alright, so those are all the releases I got at Dollar General. So now we're going to be taking a look at two releases that I got from Wal-Mart. Yesterday, to be exact. First off, we have a triple feature pack for the Looney Tunes Superstar Collection. A series of Looney Tunes DVDs where they take one character from the franchise and release a bunch of different shorts themed after that character, most of which have never been released on DVD prior to these titles coming out for that release. So we have a Bugs Bunny collection, a Foghorn Leghorn collection, and a Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote collection. I never bought any of these titles on DVD individually, but my mom, who unfortunately had to move over from Stockton back over to Oregon because of some personal stuff that I'm not going to explain here. But she has copies of these DVD releases, so I can give you my thoughts on them. There are some pretty cool shorts that are on here, and there's 45 of them if you were to buy this set. And it's a nice collection, even for those who own all of the Looney Tunes Golden Collection DVDs, like Brendan and Ryan, my good friends from YouTube, do. Because most of the shorts that are on these releases have never been released on DVD before. 41 of the 45 cartoon shorts that are on this collection are new to the disc format. The Foghorn Leghorn disc contains a broken leghorn, which was first released on the very first Looney Tunes Golden Collection back in 2003, and the Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote collection features 3 CGI animated Roadrunner shorts that were released theatrically back in the early 2010s, and they were first released on DVD as bonus features on the direct-to-video special Looney Tunes Rabbit's Run, which served as a spin-off of sorts to the Looney Tunes show from 2011, which is actually kind of a bit fitting, because the Looney Tunes show from 2011 actually had its own CGI animated Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote shorts. The Bugs Bunny and Foghorn Leghorn collections are pretty good because they're all classic era shorts, but the Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote one isn't as good because most of the shorts that are on there are the more recent ones. So, it's a nice collection, but there's one drawback. On the Bugs Bunny DVD, the shorts that are included that were released in theaters in 1950 and later, in other words, nearly half of this disc content, it has been cropped to widescreen, an unfortunate vice versa of the pan and scan method of cropping widescreen movies and TV shows to the 4:3 aspect ratio that was commonplace in television airings, VHS releases, and for a few years, even DVD releases throughout the 20th century and a little bit of the 21st century as well, more specifically the early to mid-2000s. However, the Foghorn Leghorn and Roadrunner disc allow you to choose between the two aspect ratios, which is nice. But unfortunately, there's no consistent aspect ratio for the Roadrunner disc. While the majority of the shorts are in 4:3, the CGI animated shorts that I mentioned earlier are in widescreen. So you have to switch aspect ratios to watch all the cartoons that are on this disc, which is annoying, but what are you going to do about it? So, without further ado, let's open this up and see what's inside. So, the most famous DVD and Blu-ray unboxing guy on YouTube, Jay's Blu-rays, did an unboxing of this before. And on his copy of this release, the discs were stacked on top of each other. However, on my copy, I'm shaking it right now and I can feel a flipper in there, or at least I think it's a flipper. So we'll have to see if my copy has a flipper or not. Well, nope. The discs are stacked, just like on Jay's Blu-rays copies. Looks like I got my hopes up a little bit higher than I wanted. Also, unfortunately, the older disc had more colorful looking artwork, like the Bugs Bunny one had more colorful artwork, but this disc simplifies it to just the logos, which is unfortunate, but hey, what are you going to do about it? So here's the Bugs Bunny one, the Foghorn Leghorn one, and the Roadrunner one. The Foghorn Leghorn and Roadrunner ones, thankfully, are the exact same disc, though they aren't the most colorful when it comes to artwork either. Alright, last but not least is a DVD that I'm going to be giving its own unboxing video. Tom and Jerry, the Gene Deitch Collection. So make sure to stay tuned later this week for an unboxing of that DVD. Alright, until then, this is Jason the Cartoon Fan signing off, and my Disney television animation DVD and Blu-ray video will be the video that will be coming after the Tom and Jerry one. So make sure to stay around for that too. Okay, bye for now.